Hey, I'm Slayyyter, and you're listening to Main Pod Girl.
Hey, welcome to Main Pod Girl, a podcast made by Popheads for Popheads. Every episode, we'll be diving into all kinds of pop culture topics with some of our favorite artists and music commentators. I'm your host, AJ Marks.
And I'm your guest co-host for this episode. It's Riri. I'm back. And you'll find today's special guest is a staple on the Popheads chart. She's worked with the likes of Rebecca Black, Charlie XCX, and Kim Petras as an iconic remix of Britney's Gimme More. We saw her live on the Dirt Femme tour, and her new album, Starfucker, is out now. Please welcome Slayyyter!
We've already heard the album several times. It's so
Phenomenal.
fucking good, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That means the world. Thank you.
Definitely my favorite album of yours.
For sure.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
This is a top to bottom save for me. And I have saved maybe 4 albums in their entirety, and this is going to be another one.
Personally, I'm so addicted to the song Miss Belladonna. Is Club Valentine a real place?
It is. It's a tour that you can come see me on
Ooh.
later this year.
Can you describe what a night out is like in Club Valentine? Like an ideal night out?
I feel like it's very chic. Like you dress up. It's like kind of like sex club vibes a little bit. But like in my head, I like just imagined something that was like a really like fancy, kind of like a Studio 54 vibe. Like when I was like imagining what I wanted my tour to look like, I wanted what that would be. I wanted to do like a call to like what the tour name would be in the song. Club Valentine, perfect. Because my last tour was Club Paradise. And so I'm like, this is kind of like the chic cousin of that, I guess.
I love it.
And I can totally hear that too in the album.
Yeah.
Everyone has to dress exactly like you do on the album cover.
I love it. Yeah.
Tits out.
I wonder what I can get away with for tour. Like, I'm like, can I tell people like black tie? Like, that's probably not going to go over well, but like, I would love for everyone to really dress the fuck up and like look really nice, wear like suit and tie. Like that would be such a dream, but I don't think anyone's going to do that for a concert. But in another world.
I disagree. I feel like you're at the perfect level where almost all your fans, if not all your fans, are super dedicated. Like you have that like rampant fan base. Beyonce, people don't do the everybody on mute challenge because
it's just too many people.
I feel like if you set a theme, people will follow.
Very true. I just want people to look very like grand. Like it's like a night at the theater, you know? That's like the vibe.
Like a prom. But like adult.
That'd be so adult prom. I mean, I honestly think you would have success because we saw Chapel Roan recently and she does a different theme at all of her tour dates, like based on her songs.
True.
And we saw hordes of people that were dressed up. So I honestly think the same could be true for you.
Yeah, everyone was wearing pink. So I feel like it's very doable.
True.
Also, I want to talk about the song I Love Hollywood. Please tell me you know this meme where Rachel Sennett's like, come on, it's LA. What?
Oh,
it's LA. I'm addicted to drugs. We all are.
No, literally, don't have an eating disorder? Get one, bitch.
Yeah.
Like that is
I feel like this is the musical embodiment of that meme.
for sure. Yeah, I wanted to make like a really tongue-in-cheek song just about like Hollywood and living in LA. And I feel like a lot of the little quips in the song are like things I've actually like overheard at parties.
Oh my God.
And
Girl, I am the list.
yeah, like
Have you heard that?
Oh, don't even get me started. Like that is such an attitude people have in LA. It's like it's pretty bonkers to watch. Like if I don't like get into a club right away, like I don't give a fuck. Like it is what it is. But people lose their minds as if like the reincarnation of like Michael Jackson is like on the other side of the door. People are like, get me in now. And it's like, girl, it is the Abbey. Like you need to relax. Like it is so fine.
That's too funny.
What about the absurdity of Hollywood do you think makes it's such a fun topic to explore and parody in your music?
I feel like there's just no other place like it. Like I feel like LA to me is such a separated city. I love LA so much, but to me, like Hollywood and like talking about entertainment is like a totally different beast. So I just think entertainment is like a really funny place. It's like there's kind of a new boom within it of like influencers and like internet culture and all of that stuff that hasn't really been around. Like I feel like celebrity culture a couple years ago, it was movie stars and pop stars. It wasn't a lot of like internet celebrities. And I feel like now it's like there's such a thing within entertainment where there's this like possibility of like overnight celebrity, and that kind of creates like kind of like a weird thing. And it's interesting to watch. And I think it's cool. It's cool that like anybody can have a trajectory and like, you know, become big doing their thing or being funny or like whatever their like little thing is online, but it just kind of like creates like this really funny culture, I guess.
It's like the Wild West.
Yeah, it's the Wild West.
Literally.
And I feel like people either are normal or they're really not. And I think it's just kind of funny. It's like, I feel like I'm from the suburbs and like I grew up with a mom who loved reading like People magazine and like we always like consumed that kind of celebrity culture. I always loved like Perez Hilton and like tabloid culture in like the early 2000s. I ate all that stuff up so much. And it's funny just to have like my toe dipped in a little bit where like no one really knows or cares who I am. But at the same time, like I'll go to some of these parties and I'm just like the small fry and it's like all these crazy people that I like grew up like obsessing over. And I'm just like, oh, and like the party's kind of like a flop and you're like, oh, okay.
Are there a lot of party flops? What's the tea?
Honestly, yeah. Like I feel like the most fun parties are like the more underground, nobody famous is there kind of parties. Like I feel like the events are like really like there's something kind of like frigid about it.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Like it's awkward, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like now too, it's like because of the internet thing, it'll be like one or two A-list celebs and then they're like, oh my God, we have the dancing dog from TikTok. And it's like, oh, cool. And it's like, that's awesome. Awesome. I love it.
Talking about A-list celebrities, we have a game called Popheads Gone Viral, but we're going to do a pop diva version.
Oh, love.
Just for this episode. Nowadays, so many older songs are going viral and even climbing into the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100. We're going to give you some songs that we think could go big in the charts once again through 4 different methods. Are you ready to make these songs go to the top?
Yes, I'm so ready.
Slay, let's go. Okay, so the first method is featuring Fergie. We have a remix, Fergie's on it. The number 2A is a sync on the upcoming film Barbie 2, which I don't think is actually in production. I think they said there won't be a sequel, but let's just imagine there is.
I hope there is.
The third way is an acoustic version of the song. And the fourth way is a hyperpop remix, so like the exact opposite. First song, Britney Spears, You Drive Me Crazy.
Sync on Barbie 2.
Really?
That song is like pop Bible. Like we can't mess with her. No remix. Like I feel like a big sync would be like my answer.
You know what? I could see that.
I respect that.
What would you say, Ree?
Honestly, for that one, I was thinking of featuring Fergie. Because
Featuring
at that time,
Fergie.
at that time.
Oh, because she was in the girl group.
Right. And with Max Martin. Like just being involved in that at all.
Yeah, we need Fergie and Max. Have Fergie and Max ever worked together?
I don't know. Have they?
I don't think they have.
will.i.am produced all of her like smash hitters. I don't know if she has like Max Martin songs.
We have the will.i.am connection between Fergie and Britney, but we've never gotten a Fergie-Britney collab, and I think that's rude.
That is rude.
I'm going to vote for featuring Fergie. Okay, the second song is Madonna, Material Girl, featuring Fergie, sync on Barbie 2, acoustic version, or hyperpop remix.
This is hard. I feel like my answer for everything is going to be like sync on Barbie 2, but like sync on Barbie. I could see that synced in Barbie 2.
It's made for Barbie 2. However, I would love a hyperpop remix, low key. Like I feel like that's a song that inspired a lot of now that I'm saying it, I'm like, this is Barbie 2. But it did inspire a lot of hyperpop.
This might shock you guys, but I hate hyperpop so much. So I'm like I'm like the hyperpop remix is gonna make it that's gonna make the opposite of like what we want to happen. That will like nosedive, right?
Okay, so sync on Barbie 2 then.
I feel like me saying I hate hyperpop, there's something that's like camp about that. Like
I'm floored right now. So.
Right?
I was not expecting that, especially just, I don't know.
It's like that Lindsay Lohan video where she's like, I'm like, hyperpop is my friend. Like, I never said that. Like, it's like the...
Oh my God.
We've talked to Dorian Electra on this podcast, and I've like met Rebecca Black a few times when we've talked about it. So I'm like not too surprised. Like it's weirdly, it feels like something that's signed to people and then they're like walking around with it on their backs and they're like, what? This isn't me. Like
it feels like a scarlet letter. Like it's like a dirty word to me. I'm like, don't call me that.
And it's on your Wikipedia page too. How do you feel about that?
Oh, once again, I'm like, what? Don't call me that. Don't put that on me. I'm like, ugh.
How accurate is your Wikipedia page?
I haven't read it in a really long time. I would hope that it's pretty accurate. I remember when I first got a Wikipedia page, I was really freaked out because for a long time I tried keeping my name pretty anonymous, but there's just like no world where that's possible when you're like making music on the internet. I feel like Pink Panthers has done a good job of like kind of keeping her real identity a little more separate from her like music project, but they had like my government name, like Catherine Grace Garner. And I was like, oh, damn it.
They put you on blast.
Yeah, there's no mystery anymore. You know, like we found out Mariah Carey's age, and so now all the mystery in the world is gone. We need more like mystique. Like you can't just like invent. Like I remember when Her came out, HER, and she like didn't have an identity for a while. I thought that was fucking cool. But then we found out she was already famous.
Yeah, the early days of Sophie were very that, and it was like the coolest thing. It was like having all this like really sick music and not really having like a face or a name to put it to. It's like it makes it so mysterious. I think that when I first started, I had this like weird like cam girl thing going on. No one really knew if I was like a real person or not. And I think that added to the lore.
Interesting. I mean, another part of your lore that I wanted to ask you about, I mean, since you're a noted hyperpop hater, got it. Word on the street is that you'd done some like 80s, like lo-fi type pop that never ended up getting released. And I was just wondering like if there was, you know, a vision that you had there, or if that's something that you might revisit in the future.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that you asked that. When I very, very first started like making music in general, just like in my bedroom, I would find like these vaporwave beats. I was like really into like synthwave and vaporwave, and I would just write to them and record in my closet and put them on SoundCloud, and no one really like paid attention or was like doing much with it. But yeah, like I feel like I would love to revisit. I feel like with my album, I've revisited the kind of like 80s-ish vibe, but just not so like lo-fi. But I love internet culture of like core and like nightcore songs and like vaporwave and synthwave and dark wave and all of those kind of like subgenres of music that really only exist on like SoundCloud. I'm obsessed with. So yeah, that was like my beginnings.
Wow. Do you think you ever like might release it on SoundCloud or something like that, just as like a little treat, or do you like not even have it anymore?
I don't have it anymore. And also the style of like what I was doing, I was like taking just instrumentals I was finding from other artists. They didn't have top line on them. So they were like other people's songs kind of. So I was kind of like stealing beats. And so I don't know if I could release without like people's permission, of course, but yeah.
I think on SoundCloud you can, but right? Because I feel like if you're not making
SoundCloud
any money from it,
but other ones it's a no. But
yeah,
I don't know if you guys know the artist Home.
Yes.
Yeah, I would write over his beats all the time. He had like a treasure trove of beats on SoundCloud. And I've tried to hit him up and been like, hey, I'd love to work on music, and no response. But he's great.
We'll get him at some point.
Yeah. I would love to see you guys actually work together. Like, that'd be great.
So the last song for Popheads Gone Viral is Kesha's Take It Off. It could feature Fergie, it could sync on Barbie 2, or it could have an acoustic version or a hyperpop remix.
I think an acoustic version of that would go really viral, just because like why would there be such a song like that's such a sexual song and for it to be like acoustic?
Allison Williams from Get Out, she covered with Kurt Hugo Schneider, she covered TikTok but acoustic, and she like sings kind of like in a musical theater voice, and it's I think meant to be cringe, but I just think it's like camp, and I think it's kind of iconic. I unironically adore it. It's so good. Allison Williams singing TikTok. I think you've sold me on the acoustic version of Take It Off. I think I'm going to go with acoustic.
I'm going for the acoustic too.
So it's well known that drag queens everywhere slutted up to your bops. If you were a drag queen, what would your persona be?
I don't know. That sentence is so good. I feel like, what would my persona be? I mean, you guys tell me, like, what do you think it would give?
So I'm not going to lie. I was cooking on this one. You tell me what you think, but I think I was cooking. I do know that there's like a little like lighthearted, you know, you were in your receptionist era, like your secretary era, like when you were, you know, working on your first project, like at that time.
Yeah.
What if you were like the secretary, like with the 3 U's instead of just one?
To match the 3 Y's for Slayyyter.
Oh, I love that. The secretary. Oh my God. My name's like, what's like a secretary name? Like, I'm like Brenda, the secretary.
Brenda.
I'd be like a slutty secretary.
I I feel like I envision you almost like with a similar drag style as like Trixie Mattel, you know, like the giant ass, the huge wig, like the extreme makeup. I feel like it would be incredible.
Yeah, a lot of pink.
Yes, lots
Love
of pink.
I love that. You were cooking. You weren't lying. That is good.
I was cooking. I was in the kitchen this morning. Mm-hmm. So you've collabed with a lot of iconic artists, especially artists that Popheads, you know, really love and rave about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off some of the names of former collaborators for each one. If you could pick, you know, if you're making a remix album, you can pick which song on the new album you think they'd fit best on. The first one's Charlie XCX. Which one do you think she'd compliment best?
Oh, this is hard. Like an imaginary game, but I feel like you tell me, what do you guys think?
I would say Purr. That's just me.
Oh yeah, that would be good. I feel like Big Frida would like murder a Purr type song.
Yes. Wait, can we have that?
I would love that. Would be a dream.
Big Frida is such a collaborator.
I love Big Frida.
Big Frida's amazing. So good live. Have nothing but amazing things to say. I think Charlie could fit really well in I Love Hollywood.
Oh yeah, that would be cool too. That'd be great.
And then our next artist is Aisha Erotica. I know she's a big favorite on Popheads too.
Oh, I feel like she'd be great on Purr.
It's very on brand for her too.
Or Plastic, I think would be a good one.
The next one is Kim Petras, who I think would probably be best maybe on Out of Time.
Oh yeah, that could be cool. Out of Time would be cool. I think that would complement.
Or she would slay it on Rhinestone Heart.
I could see Rhinestone Heart as well.
Yeah, that'd be major
Fantastic.
moment. I love that one too. That would be good.
And then lastly, Rebecca Black.
Ooh, maybe like, I feel like she has such a beautiful voice, like for more like tender moment songs. So maybe like Tear Me Open. I feel like that would be really.
Yeah, or Memories of You.
That would be cool.
That's one of my favorite songs, by the way.
Yeah.
I love how intimate you get, but it's also like a bop. I'm like, hell yeah. Like you're getting in your Cascada bag.
I love it. Yeah, that one's very dance. I love that one.
Amazing. Well, that sounds like a Slay remix album to me. And I love that we threw Big Frida in there too.
For sure.
The next game, so we're going to basically play a game of Mad Libs. We're going to play a game of Mad Libs, and I'm going to ask you for things like adjectives, verbs, nouns, etc. And then I'll plug them into your song lyrics and then have you read them out.
Perfect.
First off, we need a verb.
This is like, I feel like I'm in school again. I'm like, a verb. Wow, that's a great question. How do I answer this question? Running. Or no, sucking.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. That actually is hilarious, actually.
This is great.
Sex act is the next one.
A sex act. Well, I just did sucking. So maybe, can we do sucking again?
Sure.
You're like, girl, this is not how you play the game.
All right. We need 2 plural nouns from you next.
Boobs.
Love it. We're reading what it's going to say and we're just cackling.
It's giving Nicki Minaj.
Boobs, balls.
Balls.
It's giving that same energy as big boobs.
Big boobs.
Boobs, balls.
Wait, hold on. Can we please change it to big boobs and balls? Just because it
Big
reads
boobs
funnier.
and big balls, or just big boobs and balls?
Big boobs and let's do big balls. Why not?
Big balls. All right, perfect.
And then a person.
Just like a person, like just a name.
A name.
Like Sally.
Okay. And then we need a pop star, specifically a pop star.
Madonna.
Love it. Love it.
Let's throw Madge in the mix for this.
Madge. Wait, I'm going to write Madge instead. And then thing you own.
I don't own anything. Maybe like a leaf blower.
Leaf blower.
That was the most left field thing you possibly could have said.
We're going from suck, big boobs, leaf blower.
I just got a leaf blower the other day. I ordered one on Amazon, so I'm really excited about that.
Oh, I love that. We need a profession.
Dental assistant.
Okay, and then location.
How about like Six Flags? I'm feeling that. More flags, more fun. You know what I'm saying?
And then last one, we need a noun.
How about like a motorcycle?
Oh, that was perfect. You ate that. You don't even know when you ate it.
Hey!
Oh my God. All right. So I'm going to send this to you. And you can sing it to the tune of I Love Hollywood, or you can just read it like Siri.
I'm so excited it's loading.
All the air has expeditiously left my lungs after reading this, so I can't wait.
First you suck me, then you don't. Suck the 90210. Get into this bag of big boobs. When the party leaves, I'm gone. That's not the lyric either.
This is written from Genius.
Oh, my Genius always does me dirty. Get into this bag. Oh, so get into this bag of big boobs. I'm going to change it to what it is. Brand new Prada means I'm broke. Right. Legs, sex, party, big balls. Smiling isn't glamorous. Don't bring Sally. She's a cunt. Because that bitch would embarrass us. Oh, thank Madge. I sold my leaf blower. Glitter, smoke, and rock and roll. K-hole when I lose control.
Right.
Dancing on a dental assistant's pole. I want to die at the Six Flags, which is like such an old lady way to say it. The Six Flags. I want to die at the Six Flags. I'm going to take you tonight. No cigarettes at the Six Flags unless you're being polite. Oh my God, you're not even on the motorcycle. Girl, I am the motorcycle.
Your born this way moment.
Yeah, I was about to be like Gaga on the cover of Born This Way. Girl, I am the motorcycle.
Thank you for doing that. That was amazing.
This is the remix.
Big balls.
Big balls. Yeah, oh my God, you're not even on the motorcycle. Girl, I am the motorcycle.
And now we've come to the last part of our show, our top 5. This is where we list off our top 5 of a certain category. And this episode's theme is top 5 Pop Daddies.
Love it.
So I'll start. My list is not... It's not based on their fatherhood credentials. One of these dads I found out is not paying child support. I found out a lot about the type of fathers these guys are through my Google searches today. Now, my number 5 is Usher.
That was on my list.
Oh, we love it. He's a daddy. Usher is a daddy of 4, and we love that for him. My number 4 is Liam Payne. And most of these people, I was not sure if they were fathers, and I had to Google. My number 3 is Nick Jonas. I will not be taking questions at this time.
No questions asked.
I'm going to make you take a couple questions on the Liam Payne one, but we'll get back to that.
Okay.
I agree. I'm with you, Queen.
Well, Liam Payne, I don't know.
You want to strip that down for him or what?
My number 2 is Florida.
Interesting.
Who does not pay child support.
Oh.
So, sorry to his child. And then my number 1 is the daddy of all daddies. He's a Nepo daddy. It's Lenny Kravitz.
Oh my God, that's a perfect one.
Mm-hmm.
I love Lenny Kravitz.
We're talking cock ring Lenny Kravitz, Super Bowl Lenny Kravitz, Guitar Hero World Tour starring Lenny Kravitz.
I might have misinterpreted this game just slightly because my choices don't actually have children.
Iconic.
But I feel like my list is pretty strong. Justin Bieber, love me some Biebs. I love some J Biebs. And then I had George Michael. I mean, once again, like, I don't think he had kids, but perfect pop male performer with like a very sexual edge in their music.
He may have not had kids, but he has sons.
He has sons for sure. Prince was also on my list. And then Post Malone, who does have a kid. I love Post Malone.
What?
Shocker.
I did not know he was a father.
Yeah. He has a child, yes.
Yeah, like a 1-year-old or something, yeah.
Number 1 on my list was also Usher. Because, like, he's just, like, the music is sexual. Like, he is, like, the embodiment of that.
I mean, I have a list. I was, once again, I was in the kitchen. I was cooking. I was chefing. Make me the next Food Network star.
All right. Hit us with the list.
My honorable mention is Nick Cannon because that is the most potent man on earth. I said what I said, and I will not be backing down.
Wow.
My number 5 is not a pop daddy, but he is a daddy. And if you've ever seen the one gif of him that's going to pop in your mind when I say his name, you know what I mean. Marlon Brando.
Oh, yeah.
That gif of him doing the little smirky smile in that movie. Need I say more? Number 4, Nick Jonas. He is daddy and father to me. And my number 3 is Sting from The Police. Because, like, have you ever watched a Police music video?
Oh, yeah, my mom loves Sting.
Your mom has it right. She has it all figured out. I'm with her.
Can't get enough.
My number 2 is giving very much I'm a pop girl. Mark Ronson. Mark, if you are listening, god damn. Anyway.
I'll go tell Mark that you said that.
Please email him. His team, come at me. I'm here. I said what I said. My number 1, though, is a daddy. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And if you don't, you don't. Early 2000s Shania Twain. I was on the same wavelength.
So true.
Oh, that is so true. You're valid for that.
Thank you.
And we love Shania on this podcast.
Yes, we do.
Friend of the pod, Shania Twain.
I love Shania Twain.
That was honestly such a fun episode. Thank you so much for doing the lyric stuff. Thank you so much for being on, Slayyyter.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Gracing our presence.
You both are so funny and sweet. This was so much fun.
Thank you for sending the album in advance too.
Of course. It's so funny. I'm like, did my team send like link to album or did they send like the Debris link? Like, I'm like, what'd y'all get?
It was an actual link, but that is fucking hilarious.
I'm like, my album that is not out yet, wink, wink, for most people.
So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Ree, for guest hosting. I really appreciate it.
Thank
you to Noah for the theme music. And make sure to rate and review us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on right now. See you later.